You're being lied to again this time by the self-help world itself. You've been told to just be positive, to always look on the bright side, and that your suffering is simply a lack of positivity. But what if I told you that this relentless pursuit of happiness is actually making you more miserable? This isn't your typical feel-good, positive vibes-only video. This is a brutal dose of reality, exposing the dangers of toxic positivity and how it's keeping you stuck in a loop of denial and superficial happiness. You're about to learn that true well-being isn't about suppressing negative emotions, but about embracing them, about cultivating genuine resilience, and about creating a life based on authenticity, not on pretending. This is where you're going to take a stand against fake positivity, starting now. There's a dark side to positivity that no one wants to talk about, a hidden danger in the relentless pursuit of happiness that's not only ineffective, but actively harmful. You've been told to always look on the bright side, to think positive thoughts, and to suppress any negative emotions that might arise. But what if that constant pressure to be happy is actually making you miserable? What if that need to always have a positive outlook is preventing you from genuine growth and lasting well-being? It's time to expose this toxic underbelly of the self-help movement. This isn't an attack on positivity itself. Genuine optimism, a hopeful outlook, and the ability to see the good in life can be powerful forces for change. However, when positivity becomes forced, when it becomes a mandate, when it denies or suppresses the full spectrum of human emotion, it becomes toxic, a destructive force that keeps you stuck in a loop of denial and superficial happiness. Toxic positivity is characterized by an overwhelming pressure to always be happy, to always be grateful, and to suppress any negative feelings that might arise. It's the belief that you should never complain, that you should always be smiling, and that any expression of negative emotion is a sign of weakness or negativity. It's a constant denial of the complexities of human experience and a demand for a simplistic, unrealistic view of the world. This pressure to be positive comes from a variety of sources, from well-meaning friends and family to self-help gurus and to societal norms that tell us that happiness is the ultimate goal of life. It's a constant stream of messages that tell you to just be happy, to look on the bright side, and to avoid negative emotions at all costs. This creates a sense of obligation to conform, a feeling that you must always be positive, regardless of how you actually feel. This constant need to be positive to avoid negative emotions becomes like an invisible mask that we wear to shield us from vulnerability. It creates a cycle of denial where we suppress our feelings, hide them from others, and even from ourselves. We're constantly pushing down or avoiding any negative emotions that arise. We never truly face them, and because of this, they never go away. This is like sweeping dust under the rug. It looks clean for a while, but over time the dust will pile up and the whole room will be covered in it. You might be thinking, but what's so bad about being positive? The problem isn't positivity. The problem is the toxic aspect of it, the denial of real feelings and genuine expression. When you suppress negative emotions, you don't just make them disappear, you push them down, where they fester and grow, often manifesting as anxiety, depression, and other mental health problems. They leak out in other ways, through physical pain, through negative self-talk, or through self-sabotaging behaviors. The other problem is that it becomes a way to avoid real change, a way to bypass the sometimes uncomfortable process of growth and transformation. When you're constantly focused on being positive, you avoid having to face the difficult emotions that are often necessary for true healing. It becomes a way to stay in your comfort zone, avoiding the work that is truly needed for long-term growth and lasting well-being. It's important to acknowledge that life is not always sunshine and rainbows. It's a complex interplay of light and dark, of joy and sorrow, of hope and disappointment. Trying to force yourself to be happy all the time is not only unrealistic, it's also counterproductive. It creates a barrier to real connection, preventing you from experiencing the full spectrum of human emotion and creating a life that's truly authentic. This is why learning to recognize toxic positivity is so important. It's the first step to breaking free from this trap and embracing a more genuine path to well-being. You cannot force positivity. You must learn how to allow all emotions to flow and then to choose the ones you want to feel. We've exposed the dangers of toxic positivity, the pressure to always be happy that's actually making you miserable. Now let's turn our attention to the often demonized realm of negative emotions. What if I told you that these emotions, the ones you've been taught to suppress or avoid, are actually essential for your growth, your well-being, and your ability to create a fulfilling life. What if sadness, anger, fear, and grief aren't enemies to be vanquished but valuable messengers here to guide you toward a more authentic and empowered version of yourself? This isn't about wallowing in negativity or glorifying suffering. It's about recognizing that negative emotions are an inherent part of the human experience and that they serve a purpose. They're not mistakes to be fixed or weaknesses to be ashamed of. They are like warning signals, alerting you to something that needs your attention, be it an unfulfilled need, a limiting belief, or an injustice that demands your action. When you ignore or suppress negative emotions, you're essentially shutting down a vital part of your inner guidance system. You're cutting yourself off from valuable information about your needs, your values, and your relationship with the world around you. It's like trying to drive a car with a broken dashboard. You'll have no idea if your engine is overheating or if you're running low on fuel. Think about sadness, for example. We're often taught to avoid sadness, to quickly move on and get over it. But sadness is not inherently bad. It's a natural response to loss, disappointment, and grief. It allows you to slow down, to reflect on what's important to you, and to process the pain that comes with the human experience. When you suppress sadness, you're preventing yourself from healing. You're blocking the natural process of emotional release that is essential to moving forward. It is like trying to hold your breath for too long. You will eventually have to breathe. Anger, too, is often vilified as a negative emotion. But anger, when expressed in a healthy way, can be a powerful catalyst for change. It can signal injustice, a violation of your boundaries, or a situation that needs to be addressed. When you suppress your anger, you're allowing those injustices to continue. You're creating a backlog of unresolved conflict, and you're preventing yourself from taking the necessary action to create change. It's like having a fire alarm and not listening to the alarm when it goes off. Even fear, the emotion that most people strive to avoid, plays an important role in your life. Fear is your body's natural response to danger. It's a powerful instinct that alerts you to potential threats and motivates you to take protective action. But not every fear is real, and often you must listen to the wisdom of your heart and face your fears in a mindful way. When you suppress fear, you're denying the valuable information it can provide. You're preventing yourself from making informed decisions. You're also limiting your ability to step outside your comfort zone. It's like being stuck in a dark forest, not wanting to take any step because of your fear of the unknown. This isn't about wallowing in negativity or letting these emotions take control of your life. It's about acknowledging them, processing them, learning from them, and allowing them to guide you towards a more authentic and empowered version of yourself. It's about moving from emotional suppression to authentic self-expression, where you allow yourself to experience the full spectrum of the human experience, both the light and the dark. It is important to learn how to navigate them with mindfulness and intention, allowing them to guide you but not to control you. There is also a common idea in some self-help circles that if you're experiencing negative emotions, you are doing something wrong. This is called a spiritual bypassing, a process by which you're trying to suppress the negative emotions in a false path to spirituality, and by doing so, you prevent yourself from truly healing. Spiritual bypassing is a way to ignore or suppress negative emotions, pretending they are not there. It's like covering up dirt instead of cleaning it. It might seem good on the surface, but eventually the dirt will take over. Learning to navigate those feelings is a crucial step in developing real emotional intelligence. It's about recognizing that negative emotions are not a sign of failure, but a sign that you are alive, that you are growing, and that you are ready to take the next step on your journey. This is not about just trying to feel good all the time. It's about creating a life based on authenticity and genuine resilience, where you embrace all parts of yourself, both the light and the dark, in your path to self-understanding and well-being. This is where you discover your authentic power, where you create a life that is not just superficially happy, but is genuinely fulfilling and rich with emotional depth. We've exposed the dangers of toxic positivity and recognized the power of negative emotions. Now let's turn our attention to what truly matters, cultivating real resilience, a strength that comes not from denying our feelings but from embracing them. A path towards authentic well-being that doesn't shy away from the complexities of human experience. This is about building a foundation that can withstand any storm. A strength that comes from accepting ourselves fully, both the light and the dark, the good and the bad, and that allows you to move forward with power. Real resilience isn't about being a superhero, devoid of pain or sorrow. It's not about never experiencing negative emotions, but about having the capacity to navigate them with grace, courage, and self-compassion. It's about learning to bend without breaking, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to emerge stronger and wiser from every challenge you face. It's the ability to get back up after life knocks you down, to learn from your mistakes, and to keep moving forward, not with a smile plastered on your face, but with a grounded sense of inner strength. It's the ability to understand that things will go wrong and to not let it change your course. True resilience involves recognizing your own humanity, accepting that you will experience the full range of human emotions, including sadness, anger, fear, and grief from time to time. It's about understanding that these emotions don't diminish your worth. They are simply signals that you need to pay attention to something within your inner landscape. You are not a robot, you are a human, and humans experience emotions, so allow them to be there. One of the cornerstones of real resilience is self-compassion, a practice that many people find difficult, as it is easier to love others than to love themselves. This involves treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and acceptance that you would offer to a dear friend. It's about recognizing that you are not perfect, that you will make mistakes, and that you deserve to be loved and supported, especially during challenging times. When you're facing a difficult situation, pause and imagine what you would say to a friend, and then repeat those same phrases, that same compassion towards yourself. Treat yourself with as much grace and patience as you treat your loved ones. Setting healthy boundaries is another key aspect of building resilience. This involves understanding your own needs, recognizing your limits, and learning to say no to things that drain your energy or compromise your well-being. Setting boundaries is not about being selfish. It's about protecting your resources so you can show up fully in all aspects of your life. This could be about saying no to projects that you don't have the time for, to people that are energy drainers, or to environments that don't feel good to you. When you set boundaries, you are protecting your energy and choosing to focus on what truly matters to you. Cultivating real resilience also requires you to build a supportive community around you, connecting with people who encourage your authentic self-expression, who see you for who you are, both light and dark, and who challenge you to grow. This isn't about surrounding yourself with people who always agree with you. It's about creating meaningful connections with people who are willing to be honest with you, who can provide you with encouragement and support, and who can help you navigate the challenges of life without asking you to suppress your emotions. It is important to build a network of people that will help you grow, and that will help you stand tall even during the most difficult times. This journey towards real resilience isn't about trying to feel good all the time. It's about creating a space for all of your emotions. It's about learning how to navigate the complexities of the human experience with courage and self-compassion. It's about embracing the full spectrum of your being, not just the parts that you deem positive or acceptable, the good and the bad, the light and the dark. It is about making peace with all of yourself, to embrace all of your parts as equally valid and worthy, learning that each part plays an important role in your journey. Real resilience is the foundation of authentic well-being. It's the ability to create a life that is not just superficially happy, but genuinely fulfilling and rooted in self-acceptance, where you are not running away from negative emotions, but embracing them as valuable lessons that are guiding you to be the best version of yourself. It's a journey of self-discovery, a process of learning to trust in your own strength, and it's a path that leads you to a life of profound purpose and lasting joy. Everything we've explored today points to a single crucial truth. Real well-being is not about the relentless pursuit of positivity. It's about embracing the full spectrum of human experience. You've seen how toxic positivity can create a cycle of denial, preventing you from truly processing your emotions and achieving genuine growth. You've learned that negative emotions are not your enemy, but valuable messengers that can guide you towards greater self-awareness and authenticity. And you've discovered that true resilience is not about avoiding pain, but about cultivating the inner strength to navigate life's inevitable challenges with courage, compassion, and honesty. This isn't about choosing to be negative, it's about choosing to be real, about recognizing that life is a complex tapestry woven with threads of both light and dark. You have the power to create a life that is not based on denial or suppression, but on genuine self-acceptance. A life where all of your emotions are valid and valued. Take a moment to reflect on your own relationship with positivity. Are you chasing a superficial ideal, or are you cultivating a more authentic path to well-being? Commit to honoring all of your emotions, to treating yourself with kindness and understanding, and to creating a life that is rooted in truth and authenticity, not in fake happiness. Now that you've learned to harness the power of these unconventional techniques to rewrite your subconscious programming, it's time to move beyond the inner world and take action. You're about to discover how to use that power to command the universe and manifest money on demand. What if I told you that the very emotions you've been taught to avoid, sadness, anger, fear, and grief, actually hold the key to unlocking your potential, to creating a life that is both meaningful and fulfilling? What if those feelings that you've been rejecting and suppressing were essential tools for self-understanding and for personal growth? This is about understanding that these feelings are not flaws or weaknesses. They are vital parts of your inner compass, guiding you towards authenticity, resilience, and a deeper understanding of yourself. This isn't about wallowing in negativity. It's about valuing those emotions and the messages they provide. It's time to stop viewing negative emotions as your enemies and start seeing them as valuable messengers, here to provide you with the knowledge and guidance you need to grow. They are like the warning lights in your car. They will let you know if something is not as it should be, allowing you to correct your course before it is too late. Each emotion has its own unique purpose and its own unique message, and by learning to listen to them, you gain a richer understanding of yourself and the world around you. Let's look at sadness, for example, and consider the purpose it serves. In a society that often glorifies happiness and productivity, sadness is frequently seen as a weakness, something to be avoided at all costs. But sadness is not a mistake. Sadness is a natural response to loss, to disappointment, to change, or to the challenges that come with being human. It's an invitation to slow down, to reflect, and to connect with your own inner world. It allows you to process grief, to acknowledge what has been lost, and to make peace with the changes that have occurred. When you embrace sadness, you will allow it to release naturally. You will let it run its course and will eventually rise from the ashes stronger and wiser. Then there's anger, often portrayed as a destructive force that must be suppressed, even though when used correctly it can be an incredible asset. But anger is a natural response to injustice, to violation of boundaries, or to situations that are not aligned with your values. It can be a powerful motivator for action, a call to stand up for yourself and for others, a spark that ignites the courage you need to make a change. When you are angry, you must feel the emotion, you must acknowledge it, and then you can use it as guidance to make things right in your life and in the lives of others. It's like a fire. It can be destructive if you let it rage uncontrollably, but it can also provide warmth, light, and power if you learn to manage and direct it. Even fear, the emotion most people strive to avoid, serves a vital purpose. Fear is your body's natural response to danger, a signal that alerts you to potential threats and motivates you to take protective action. But not every fear is real, and often you must listen to the wisdom of your heart and face your fears in a mindful way. When you acknowledge the fear, when you feel the emotion, and when you choose to move past it, you learn to trust your instincts, to assess risks wisely, and to build the courage that you need to take bold action, and you grow stronger. It's like a compass, showing you the limits of your comfort zone, and then inviting you to step beyond them. The key is to understand that these emotions are not your enemies. They are valuable guides, here to provide you with important information about your inner world and your relationship with the world around you. When you acknowledge them, when you allow them to flow, and when you listen to the messages they provide, you create space for true healing, for deeper self-understanding, and for authentic personal growth. You must stop rejecting them and start embracing them, so you can grow as you need to grow. This isn't about trying to feel bad all the time. It's about acknowledging that the full range of human emotions is part of the human experience. It's about understanding that true well-being isn't about the constant pursuit of happiness. It's about the ability to navigate all emotions with grace, resilience, and self-compassion. It's about creating a life that's rich in emotional depth, a life where your negative emotions become not a source of suffering, but a source of wisdom and empowerment. You will always feel both joy and sadness, both love and anger, both hope and fear. The goal isn't to only feel one side, but to be able to navigate, understand, and learn from both. This is what will make you whole. This is what will make you strong. We've explored the value of negative emotions and their role in your personal growth. Now let's delve into how you can create space for these emotions, making room for authentic self-expression that allows you to embrace the full spectrum of the human experience, to live in a way that is genuine and true to yourself, to be all of you and not just the parts you deem acceptable. This isn't about being dramatic or seeking attention, it's about removing the mask you've been wearing, so you can finally be free. Authentic self-expression is the ability to honor your own truth, to communicate your feelings and needs honestly and directly, and to live a life that is aligned with your values. It's about removing the filters, the masks, the scripts you've created to conform to others' expectations. You will start to reveal yourself in your full glory to yourself and to the world. This is not about being perfect or about having it all figured out. It's about embracing your vulnerability, acknowledging your imperfections, and giving yourself permission to be human. It means accepting that you will experience a range of emotions and allowing yourself to fully feel them without judgment or shame. When you embrace authenticity, you stop living a script written by others. You are finally writing your own story. Authentic self-expression requires that you make space for all emotions. You can no longer pick and choose the ones you want to experience. You cannot only experience joy, but also sadness. You cannot only experience hope, but also fear. You must fully embrace the spectrum of your humanity. You must make room for sadness, anger, fear, grief, and every other emotion that arises. You are no longer trying to force yourself to be positive, so you must make space for the negative ones. You cannot truly embrace the good without accepting the bad. This is like watching a movie. You must watch it all to understand the whole picture. This is not about making excuses for destructive behavior. This is about understanding that even difficult emotions have something important to teach you, and that by embracing all emotions, you can respond to them with mindfulness and intention, and not be a slave to them. When you ignore those emotions, you become enslaved by them. When you embrace them, you can use them for your growth. When you accept them as a part of your story, they become less powerful. This also means learning how to express your emotions in healthy ways, setting boundaries, and communicating your needs to others. When you are authentically expressing yourself, you are no longer trying to please others. You are expressing yourself truly from a place of love and respect for yourself. When you are being authentic, you are showing your truth. You are living aligned with your own values, and you are also inviting others to do the same. This will allow you to attract people who value you for who you are and not for who you pretend to be. This will open the door to more meaningful connections and relationships based on honesty, respect, and mutual appreciation, and not on facades. You must also understand that authentic self-expression is not a license to be hurtful or disrespectful to others. It's about being honest while also being considerate, about choosing your words carefully, and about communicating in ways that build bridges rather than burning them. It's about finding your voice and using it with integrity, compassion, and kindness. You can be true to yourself while also being true to others. You will learn to express yourself honestly, respectfully, and authentically. This will create a ripple effect in your world, inviting others to do the same, to stop hiding behind masks and to embrace their own unique truth. Authentic self-expression is not a destination. It's a continuous journey of self-discovery, a commitment to living in alignment with your values, and an ongoing process of self-acceptance. You will learn to navigate the world with a newfound confidence. You will learn to honor your truth and to make room for all parts of yourself. You will learn to be all of you and nothing less. This is how you remove the mask and step out into the world. Free. We've established the importance of embracing negative emotions and making space for authentic self-expression. Now let's get practical. How do you actually navigate these difficult feelings in a healthy way? What tools and techniques can you use to process anger, sadness, and fear, allowing them to guide you without letting them take control of your life? This isn't about suppressing them. It's about learning to engage with them constructively, using them as fuel for your growth and transformation. Let's start with anger, a powerful emotion that, when left unchecked, can become destructive. Instead of trying to suppress or ignore your anger, you must acknowledge it, allow it to be felt, and then understand what is triggering it. Ask yourself, what is making you angry? What boundaries have been crossed? What values are being violated? These questions can help you identify the root of your anger, allowing you to address the underlying issues instead of just reacting to the surface. Express your anger in a healthy way. This can mean speaking your truth directly and assertively to the person who has triggered it, setting boundaries to prevent future violations, or using creative outlets like writing, art, or physical exercise to release the energy constructively. It is also vital to learn to identify the difference between healthy anger and destructive rage. It is important to be mindful of your words and actions, so you don't inflict harm onto yourself or others. Now, let's look at sadness. The key to processing sadness is to allow yourself to fully feel the emotion, without judgment or resistance. You must give yourself permission to cry, to grieve, to feel the pain of loss. Trying to suppress sadness will only prolong its hold on you. It's like trying to contain a river. You must let it flow to release its energy. Find a safe space where you can be alone with your feelings, where you can express them without fear or shame. Allow yourself to cry, to journal, to engage in creative pursuits that help you process your sadness. It's also important to be gentle with yourself during this process, to practice self-compassion, to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a dear friend. You will honor your grief, you will acknowledge your pain, and you will allow yourself the time and space that is necessary to heal. Finally, let's consider fear. To process fear in a healthy way, you must first identify the root cause of the fear. Is it a real threat, or is it an imagined danger? Often, our fears are based on limiting beliefs or past experiences, rather than actual present threats. Once you have identified what you are afraid of, you must acknowledge and accept it, allowing it to be present, without giving in to its power. Challenge the beliefs that are fueling your fear, replace them with more empowering thoughts, and reframe your experience from one of limitation to one of growth. If you are afraid of failure, ask yourself, what's the worst thing that could happen if you fail? And what would you learn from the process? See the fear as a guide, pointing you to areas where you need to grow and where you need to take a step outside of your comfort zone. It's crucial to understand that processing difficult emotions is not a linear process. There will be moments when you feel overwhelmed, when old patterns try to reassert themselves. That's okay. The key is to keep showing up, to keep practicing these tools and techniques, and to keep cultivating your emotional intelligence, so you learn to navigate all emotions with wisdom, compassion, and resilience. It will get easier over time if you allow the process to unfold naturally. By learning to process anger, sadness, and fear in healthy ways, you're no longer at their mercy, and you will find yourself empowered with the wisdom they provide. You will understand the message behind each feeling and will navigate them with grace and purpose, turning them into fuel for growth and transformation. You must embrace the full spectrum of your emotions, not as a weakness, but as a powerful source of guidance, intuition, and growth. We've explored healthy ways to navigate difficult emotions and to cultivate authentic self-expression. Now, let's address a common pitfall on the path to self-improvement: spiritual bypassing. This is a term used to describe the tendency to use spiritual ideas or practices to avoid dealing with painful feelings, unresolved wounds, or challenging life experiences. It's a way of pretending to be enlightened while secretly suppressing what needs to be acknowledged. This is a way to avoid pain instead of learning how to deal with pain. Spiritual bypassing often manifests as a need to always be positive, to always be at peace, and to always be above the chaos of human experience. It's a way to use spirituality as a shield, to hide from your vulnerabilities and to avoid doing the difficult inner work that is essential for true healing and transformation. It is like putting on a band-aid to heal a broken bone. It will not work. People who engage in spiritual bypassing often have a tendency to judge or criticize those who express negative emotions. They might tell you to just let it go, to rise above it, or to focus on the positive. They might also use spiritual concepts to justify harmful behaviors or to avoid taking responsibility for their actions. These people are often struggling to accept that emotions are a natural and necessary part of the human experience, so they try to avoid them completely, creating a dangerous way of thinking. They are trying to make things look perfect, but without dealing with the root cause, it will all come crumbling down. The problem with spiritual bypassing is that it doesn't actually lead to healing. It's a form of denial that keeps you stuck in the same patterns, repressing your emotions and preventing you from making real changes in your life. It is like having a dam that is full of water. Eventually it will break, releasing all that water in a powerful flood. When you avoid dealing with your feelings, when you suppress your pain, or when you judge the feelings of others, you're creating a toxic environment within you. You're creating a pressure that will eventually break. True healing is not about pretending that everything is fine. It's about acknowledging that it's not. It's about facing the difficult truths about yourself. And it is about embracing all aspects of your being, both the light and the dark. It's about developing the capacity to feel the full spectrum of human emotions without judgment or resistance. And it is about allowing those emotions to guide you towards greater self-awareness and personal growth. Spiritual bypassing often stems from a fear of pain or a desire to avoid discomfort. It's a way to bypass the challenges that are necessary for growth by using spiritual concepts as a form of escapism. But true spirituality is not about escaping reality. It's about engaging with it fully, with courage, authenticity, and compassion. It is not about pretending to be perfect, but about being real, about being truly human. It's important to be mindful of this trap and to recognize when you might be using spirituality as a way to avoid dealing with your own emotions. If you find yourself constantly trying to be positive, if you feel uncomfortable when you're around people who are expressing negative feelings, or if you're using spiritual concepts to excuse harmful behavior, it's time to take a closer look at your approach. You must be aware because by using spirituality as a form of avoidance, you are not only preventing your own growth, but you're also creating a toxic system that will prevent you from truly helping others. True healing is about embracing all aspects of your being, both the light and the dark, the positive and the negative. And you must learn to integrate all of yourself, to be all of you and nothing less. It's about understanding that spiritual growth is not about escaping the human experience. It's about learning to navigate it with awareness, intention, and a genuine commitment to your well-being. You cannot avoid the process, you must embrace it. Everything we've explored today leads to a crucial understanding. True well-being is not about suppressing negative emotions. It's about learning to navigate them with wisdom and compassion. You've seen how chasing constant positivity can be toxic, creating a cycle of denial and preventing you from authentic self-expression. You've discovered that difficult emotions are not your enemy, but essential guides on your journey, providing valuable insight into your needs, your boundaries, and your potential for growth. You've learned that true healing is not about avoiding pain. It's about embracing the full spectrum of human experience with authenticity, vulnerability, and self-compassion. This is about moving beyond a superficial approach to self-improvement, a way to acknowledge your feelings without judgment. It is time to embrace the messiness of being human, while at the same time, you cultivate a deep resilience and a profound acceptance of all parts of yourself. This will allow you to navigate all emotions and create a life that is truly fulfilling, authentic, and meaningful. Take a moment to reflect on your own relationship with negative emotions. Are you constantly trying to suppress them? Or are you allowing yourself to feel them fully and process them with wisdom? Commit to becoming a more authentic version of yourself and to embracing the full spectrum of emotions with grace, compassion, and self-understanding. This will open you up to a whole new world where you will find power in your vulnerability and in your authenticity. Now that you've understood the power of negative emotions and the dangers of spiritual bypassing, you're ready to move towards real resilience. You're about to explore how to cultivate genuine strength and stability, creating a life that is rooted in self-compassion, not in the denial of your authentic feelings. What if the way you've been taught to be resilient is actually holding you back? What if true strength isn't about never stumbling or never feeling pain, but about how you navigate those experiences, how you rise from the ashes, and how you use them as a catalyst for growth? This is about redefining resilience, moving beyond the superficiality of toxic positivity to embrace a genuine form of emotional strength that is rooted in authenticity, self-compassion, and a deep understanding of the human experience. This is not about pretending everything is fine, but about recognizing that life will bring challenges and to embrace them with the strength you were born with. True resilience is not about being unbreakable or immune to pain. It's about having the capacity to bend without breaking, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to recover from setbacks with wisdom and grace. It's not about never falling. It's about learning how to get back up again and again, and to keep moving forward. It's not about suppressing your feelings. It's about navigating the full spectrum of human emotion with awareness and intention. It's about embracing all of you with all your light and all your dark sides. It is time to leave behind the ideal of the emotionally invincible hero, the superhero that doesn't bleed, doesn't stumble, and doesn't feel pain. True strength doesn't come from pretending to be perfect. It comes from recognizing your imperfections, from understanding your vulnerabilities, and from accepting the reality that life is not always going to be easy. You are not a superhero. You are human. And true strength comes from understanding what it means to be human. True resilience isn't a destination. It's an ongoing process, a continuous journey of self-discovery, and a commitment to navigate the world with courage, compassion, and authenticity. It's about knowing that you have the power to face any challenge that comes your way, not because you are always strong, but because you know you have the capacity to learn and grow from every experience. This isn't about trying to be tough or invulnerable. It's about developing the emotional strength to be vulnerable, to be honest with yourself, and to embrace your humanity, flaws and all. It is not about trying to escape challenges, but about understanding that those challenges are what make you stronger. True resilience is the foundation of a meaningful life, a life rooted in self-understanding, compassion, and a deep connection to your own inner power. This is about learning that you do not need to pretend to be strong. You are strong enough as you are. This is about learning to trust that you have what it takes to face whatever challenges comes your way. This isn't a magic trick. It's a fundamental shift in perspective, from denial to acceptance, from avoidance to embracing all that is. We've redefined resilience, understanding that it's not about being unbreakable, but about navigating life's challenges with grace and courage. Now let's explore one of the most crucial elements of true resilience: self-compassion. This is the practice of treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and acceptance that you would offer to a dear friend, especially during difficult times. It is the ability to look at your own actions, your own mistakes, with kindness and understanding, and not with judgment and blame. It's the understanding that you're human, you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to learn from them. Yet, self-compassion is not about making excuses for yourself or letting yourself off the hook when you've done something wrong. It's about acknowledging your flaws and imperfections without judging or condemning yourself. It's about recognizing that you are not perfect, you will never be perfect, and that is more than okay. It's about understanding that you are worthy of love and acceptance, even when you stumble, even when you make mistakes, even when you fail to live up to your own expectations. It's about embracing your humanity in all its messiness. Think about how you would respond if a close friend were going through a difficult time. You would offer them kindness, support, and understanding. You would listen to their struggles, you would validate their feelings, and you would remind them of their strength and their worth. You would encourage them to learn from the experience and keep moving forward with grace and courage. That is exactly what self-compassion is, offering yourself what you offer to others. This isn't about self-pity or dwelling on your failures. It's about creating a safe space for yourself where you can be honest about your shortcomings and to navigate them with awareness and intention. It is about creating an environment where growth is possible, where you can learn from your mistakes and move forward without being held back by shame or self-doubt. When you give yourself self-compassion, you are creating an internal foundation that is strong and secure, even when everything around you seems to be crumbling. Self-compassion involves recognizing that you are not alone in your struggles, that everyone experiences pain, loss, and disappointment at times, and that it's simply part of the human experience. When you understand that it is okay to struggle, you feel less alone, and you are able to move past your pain more quickly. It's about recognizing your shared humanity, understanding that everyone makes mistakes, and that these mistakes don't diminish your value. When you understand this, you can move from judgment to compassion. This is about choosing to be your own best friend, to treat yourself with kindness and care, even when you're feeling low, even when you've made a mistake, and especially when you're experiencing pain and suffering. It's about building a relationship with yourself that is rooted in empathy, respect, and unwavering support. Self-compassion isn't selfish. It's an act of profound self-love, a powerful force that allows you to navigate life's challenges with greater strength, grace, and resilience. You must be your own best friend before you can be a good friend to anyone else. We've explored the importance of self-compassion. Now let's delve into another crucial element of real resilience: setting healthy boundaries. This is about understanding your own limits, respecting your own needs, and learning to say no to things that drain your energy, compromise your well-being, or violate your values. It's about creating a space for your authentic emotions without allowing the external world to overwhelm you. This is about protecting your energy. Boundaries are not about building walls or isolating yourself from others. They are about creating healthy relationships where you can be yourself, where you can honor your own needs, and where you are free from manipulation or exploitation. It is the ability to choose who and what gets access to your time, your energy, and your emotional space. It's about taking responsibility for your own well-being and refusing to compromise your values or your needs to please others. This is not selfish, it is a powerful act of self-respect. It is about honoring your worth, acknowledging your own limitations, and taking control of your emotional well-being. When you set clear boundaries, you are sending a clear signal to yourself and to the world that you value your time, your energy, and your emotional space. You're no longer allowing yourself to be a doormat. You're choosing to protect your own well-being because you understand that without caring for yourself, you will not be able to care for others. You are not an infinite battery. You have limits, and you must learn to respect them. Learning to say no is a crucial skill for setting boundaries, and it's a skill that many people struggle with. Saying no is not about being mean or unhelpful, but about prioritizing your needs and your time. Every time you say yes to something you don't want, you are saying no to something you do want. So when you say no, you are actually saying yes to something that is more important to you. And that is a powerful form of self-care. This might mean declining invitations, setting limits on your work hours, or choosing not to engage in draining conversations or relationships. When you say no, you are protecting your energy and ensuring that you can show up fully for the things that truly matter to you. Setting boundaries also involves clearly communicating your needs and expectations to others. This is not about being demanding or controlling. It's about being honest and direct, and about creating clear parameters for your interactions with others. It's about expressing your emotions in a healthy way, speaking your truth with confidence and respect, and setting clear limitations on what behavior is acceptable to you. This is not about changing others, it's about respecting yourself and creating a space where you will not allow others to treat you disrespectfully. Boundaries will not only protect your energy, but will also create space for authentic emotions, allowing you to process your experiences without being overwhelmed by external factors. You're creating a space where you can be true to yourself, where you can feel your feelings fully, and where you can access your inner wisdom without the constant noise of external demands. This is about creating a life that is balanced, sustainable, and rooted in self-respect. It's a foundation of resilience, a practice that empowers you to navigate the world with strength, integrity, and a deep commitment to your own well-being. You must protect your energy so you can live your life fully without being drained by external forces. We've explored the power of self-compassion and setting healthy boundaries. Now, let's delve into the importance of building a supportive community. True resilience isn't built in isolation. It's cultivated through meaningful connections with others who understand and support your journey, who can see you for who you are and not for who you pretend to be. It's about finding your tribe that will support you through thick and thin. Surrounding yourself with people who encourage authentic self-expression is like creating a safe haven, a space where you can be vulnerable, honest, and true to yourself without fear of judgment or rejection. This doesn't mean surrounding yourself with people who always agree with you or who never challenge your perspectives. It means cultivating relationships with people who accept you for who you are, who appreciate your unique qualities, and who encourage you to grow and evolve. It's about choosing people who see and accept both your light and your dark sides. This support system is not a source of dependence, but a source of strength. You're not giving away your power, you're amplifying it through meaningful relationships where you can receive support, encouragement, and different perspectives when facing challenges and opportunities. They are not your crutches, they are your allies. These relationships provide a place where you can express your emotions openly and honestly. They will not ask you to smile when you are sad. They will not judge you when you are angry. They will not try to change your true essence. You will have a safe space to be yourself without pretending to be happy or positive all the time. They are your safe haven where you can speak your truth, where you will be heard without judgment, and where you can receive the support you need without being asked to hide your true feelings. This support system will also challenge you to grow by providing you with honest feedback and by encouraging you to step outside your comfort zone. They will support you when you stumble and celebrate you when you succeed. This isn't about having people who only praise you, but having people who care enough to give you honest advice so you can see yourself clearly in a balanced perspective. They will see the best in you and help you become the best version of yourself. Building a supportive community is not a passive process. It requires you to be proactive in seeking out and cultivating these relationships. This means being open and vulnerable, sharing your own experiences and showing genuine interest in others. You must be willing to be honest with yourself so you can be honest with others. You must also be mindful of the people you choose to surround yourself with. You will choose those who truly support your journey, who encourage your authentic self-expression, and who help you grow stronger and wiser. This will help you to limit your time with those who are draining, those that are judging, and those who are not in alignment with your own energy and values. This isn't about surrounding yourself only with people who are exactly like you. It's about creating a diverse community of people who will challenge you to see different viewpoints, who will broaden your horizons, and who will support your growth journey. It's about creating a network that is strong, supportive, and rooted in authenticity. This strong network will help you navigate the challenges of life with courage and grace, to know that you're never alone and to create a sense of belonging that will help you become a more resilient and powerful version of yourself. This supportive community will become your tribe, a place where you are understood, valued, loved, and empowered to be all of you, with nothing less. Everything we've explored today points towards a single, powerful truth. Lasting well-being is not about denying difficult emotions. It's about embracing the full spectrum of the human experience and using that knowledge to build a strong, resilient foundation. You've learned that true strength doesn't come from forcing yourself to be positive, but from your ability to navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life with courage, self-compassion, and authenticity. You've seen that genuine resilience is not about avoiding pain, but about learning to listen to the messages that those feelings are carrying, and to embrace all parts of yourself. It is time to step away from superficiality, to move beyond denial, and to embrace a path towards wholeness that values both light and dark, strength and vulnerability, and all the emotions that make you uniquely human. It is time to stop trying to be perfect and start choosing to be real, flaws and all. This is the key to your personal liberation. You now have the understanding and the tools to navigate life's challenges with greater confidence and grace. You have the ability to accept yourself without judgment, to embrace your vulnerability, to set clear boundaries, and to build a supportive community that encourages your authentic self-expression. This is about becoming your own best friend, your greatest support, and the person who will never let you down, no matter how difficult the journey is. Take a moment to reflect on what you have learned and to acknowledge all the steps you've already taken in your journey towards true resilience. Embrace the messy, the imperfect, and the beautiful whole that is you. Commit to honoring all of your emotions, to creating space for both joy and sorrow, and to creating a life that's rooted in authenticity and genuine well-being. That's it. You've now seen the real picture, the brutal truth about fake positivity, and you're now equipped to step into a life of authentic strength and real well-being by embracing all of your emotions. This is about more than just surviving, it's about truly thriving. You are now ready to embrace all of yourself and to rewrite the narrative of your life. So now go out there and make it count.